أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Why do we celebrate the birth anniversary of Lady Fatima, peace upon her? It is the high time to discuss this issue, as we are during the season and time that coincide with the birth anniversary of Lady Fatima, the only daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through whom the descendants, the offspring of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued to exist. First of all, let's remember that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeatedly reminded everybody about the status of his daughter Fatima. Indeed, when the ayah 33 in surah number 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 33, ayah al-Tathir, was revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Allah wishes to remove all impurity from you, the household of the Prophet, and grant you every salvation and purity. This, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for 6 months, every day at dawn, would go and knock at the door of Fatima, peace be upon her, and recite this ayah, الصلاة الصلاة إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا, to tell everybody that is the house of Fatima is adjacent to the mosque. So before entering the holy mosque of Medina to lead the prayers for dawn, he would go to tell everybody these announcements made by the Prophet in many reports for 6 months, in some others for 9 consecutive months, to tell everybody that the household in the ayah is in reference only to the house of Fatima, and all others are excluded. So this unique approach, not for the day, not for a week, not a month, but for either 6 or 9 months, when the Prophet ﷺ does that, not as emotional approach or to show some sort of feeling towards his daughter, no, to explain one fact, one reality, and that is Fatima will remain the center of guidance, and through Fatima the generations, the imams, the error-free imams will continue to lead the community. And indeed, the 12th imam, may Allah hasten his reappearance, is a descendant of Lady Fatima salamullah alayha. So this unique approach shows that there is something to be taken in consideration, and people know why Lady Fatima alayhi salam deserves all that respect and admiration. In addition to that, when we see the Ayat al-Mubahala, when there was a discussion, a debate between the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Christians of Najran regarding the nature of Jesus, whether he is Son of God or not. The Prophet tried to explain to the delegates of Najran that it is impossible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have son or daughter. Indeed, lam yalid wa lam yulad, he does not beget and not begotten, is one of the essential principles of Islam. But this did not reach the satisfactory result, and they insisted, the Christians then, about what they had learned from their ancestors. So it was their implication, the mubahala. And although the ayah of mubahala says that let us summon our women and your women, the Prophet ﷺ did not bring to the field of mubahala implication but one woman, and that was only his daughter Fatima. So this shows one very, very important task, and that is there is something unique in Lady Fatima alayhi salam. Of course, when in one occasion the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah created the daughter Fatima from a light before creating the heavens and earth. And when he was asked, wasn't she indeed a human being? He, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, responded that yes, she is a human being and a huri. By that he was referring to the night journey, when there are many authentic narrations to tell us about what happened during the night journey, and the Prophet entering paradise, becoming aware of every corner and every aspect of bliss in paradise. Then he had a gift. Jibreel brought him an apple, and by consuming that apple, the beginning of a fetus, and that was Fatima alayhi salam, started. And in one occasion, one of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam would ask the Prophet, why do you love Fatima so much? You respect her. Sometimes you show special respect and love for her. What is the reason for that? And his response was that when I had the opportunity to do the night journey Mi'raj, and I was shown the bliss in paradise, whenever I yearn to that, I come to see the smell and the flavor and the whole atmosphere of that history, that memory in Fatima alayhi salam. And this is again to say that she was not only a human being, she was human being and huri. Al-Fakhr Razi refers to his great commentator, exeget on the Quran. He says that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam was promised, according to Surah Al-Kawthar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ. Those who hate you, they remain without continuation. Their generation and their lions will be cut off. But we granted you abundance of knowledge, every goodness, descendants, and all types of guidance via Fatima alayhi salam. Now, Al-Fakhr al-Razi says that despite many efforts were made to do harm to the descendants of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to exterminate descendants and get rid of them with all types of torture and injustice, mistreatment. But as the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was, for the continuation of the offspring of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that was guaranteed, and we see that they are seen in every corner of the world, and many of them are great personalities who are source of guidance, knowledge, and every type of goodness. So, brothers and sisters, on the 20th of Jumada al-Thaniya, that was on Wednesday, every year the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam celebrate the birth anniversary of such great lady, Sayyidatu Nisa al-Alameen, the great woman of the whole humanity, and indeed Alameen, which means that all universes, and by that refer to the status of Lady Fatima alayhi salam. In one occasion, he went even farther to say that she is mother to her father. Biologically, we know that a daughter is part of her father. But here, the Prophet ﷺ mentions something more important, that whatever is meant by mother in the family, in the whole community, as being the center of all communication and gathering, and everybody emanates from that center, we find this according to Muslim nation, we find it in Lady Fatima alayhi salam. To conclude, that to celebrate and to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have such great lady who was the source of illumination, the source of every guidance, and to be the mother of 11 imams, wife to the first imam, Imam Ali alayhi salam. All these tell us about one thing, about a great lady who deserves to be remembered and admired by all, to be loved by all, and to know that her status is unique, unmatched, and no one possibly go near her. Of course, we know that this guidance, this respect continued. Every imam in his turn tried to explain the position and the status of Lady Fatima alayhi salam, to explain that without her being the center of what we read in Hadith al-Kisa, the clock, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gathered Fatima, Ali, Hassan and Hussein all, and covered them with the cloak. Then Jibreel asked, who are they? And the response was, Hum Fatimatu wa abuha wa ba'luha wa banuha. So the response wasn't that this is the Prophet, his daughter Fatima, his son-in-law or cousin Ali, and the grandchildren Hassan and Hussein. No. The expression in Hadith al-Kisa is that this is Fatima as a center, and everybody else is related to her. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, her father. Imam Ali alayhi salam, her husband. Hassan and Hussein as her sons. And this again tell us about the position and the status of Lady Fatima Salamullah alayha. And this is all we know for this life. But of course, for the day of resurrection, the intercession, the shafa'ah of Lady Fatima is recorded in many authentic reports. And by that we find that if we are really followers and lovers of Lady Fatima alayhi salam, we hope that inshallah will be honored by being included in her shafa'ah, in her intercession. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.